Hey everyone, welcome to the monthly OpenDev Fellowship call, the call where we gather all the developers, sometimes in a room, sometimes in an online call, and we see to get the best out of them, try to learn what's going on with the Polkadot runtime, with everything that they've been building. We have a great mix of very experienced, long-time core developers and also always new people coming in. And every month is different. This time I am in Germany actually with the Web3 Foundation retreat. They gave me a nice hotel room, so this is where I'm reporting to you from today. And I think the OpenDev Fellowship call is also the call where we can show off our swag, our Polkadot merch. Today I'm having less trust, more truth. I get this at the last Web3 Foundation Summit. And yeah, I think we have some exciting updates for today. I hear that a very interesting proposal just passed. So I think we're going to talk about elastic scaling. And of course, all the other things that are coming along, the asset hub migration, everything that's going along with Hub, Polkadot Cloud. And yeah, as always, we are going by rank, and we're starting with the highest rank that we have in the room, which is Basti, here with us today. Hi, Basti, rank 6 in the fellowship. Hi, Basti.
Hello.
Hey, Basti, how's it been going?
Good. I had nice vacations. No Tommy, so.
What more can you ask for?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, like, yeah, you've probably seen it. I know that you see it. Like, I published my blog post about like the 500 millisecond blocks, and yeah, that we are now like at the hopefully can see the finish line, and now we're going into the direction. I mean, it's working, and like I'm still writing tests, and I'm still doing stuff, and while doing stuff, I see more and more things which can be improved, or like which maybe need also like a test or whatever to ensure that they're working. But yeah, I think in general, at least I don't see any real blocker anymore, and everything should be hopefully falling apart in the near future. Yeah.
Awesome. So these are the 500 milliseconds of blocks that we would be looking at for parachains, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and so I think we get those clarifications from time to time, but I also know that other parachains are working on their own implementations of how they're using elastic scaling. But I think what I see sometimes is some confusion about how does the work that you're doing, how is it different from the work that some parachains are doing. And I believe it was Andre last time who reported that they're working on the usage of 12 cores. Could you explain a little bit what is the differences, or are they using the same basic concepts?
I mean, the main difference is here is like the resource usage. Like if you use, for example, like 12 cores to run with like 500 milliseconds with one parachain, and you have 100 cores, that like you can do the calculations, and you get like eight parachains or whatever. Yeah, that's not that much. And if you go with like the work I'm doing is now right now, like, I mean, that's also like these 12 blocks are doing is like the block production is kind of married to the amount of resources you get on the reader chain. So like if you have 12 cores, you build 12 blocks, which is a little bit stupid. But I mean, it worked before because like everyone had one block every 6 seconds or every 12 seconds, and so that was kind of fine. And like my work, is like separating like these two concerns. Like there's at some point there's a concern about like what is like the latency, how fast you want to have blocks, and then the other concern is like how much resources do you actually have. So what that means is like you can, for example, run with 500 milliseconds and only have one core, because like you maybe need to have a low latency, but you don't have that much compute resources, or like not that much requirements, because whatever. So in the end, it means like you run with 500 milliseconds, but you will only use one core. So if you would then use one core, like you could still have like 100 parachains. Or like then there's like the kind of most, or not the most realistic, but the case of where you use like 3 cores, and you go down because like 3 cores give you each core has like 2 seconds of execution time, and you get a core every reader chain slot. There's a new or there are new cores. So if you have 6 seconds divided by 2 gives you like 3. So like that means like if you actually run like on close to native speed or whatever, however you want to call it, with your calculators, you should be able to produce like continuously for 6 seconds. And this can be split up then into 3 blocks, which you can then send to the reader chain. For sure, there are like other things which you can do, but that's like the most natural thing. At least I would say. And like, so, yeah. But the TLDR is like really like, my work is about like not wasting resources. Yeah, you want to say it in that way, and still have like a low latency.
Yeah. I really enjoyed reading that blog post. I think it is very helpful in understanding the overall composition. So I put it right next to this blog post that Robert Habermeyer wrote, I think like 4 years ago, about Polkadot version 1.0. And I think it very neatly like adds on top of that how the work on ASIC backing, agile core time, and elastic scaling, how it all fits together in this one.
Yeah, that was my intention, and good that it kind of works. So like I tried to really explain why we have done like, or why it was in whatever way it was before, and like how it evolved, and like what are these the downsides or the upsides of both of these. Yeah. But yeah.
So Basti, in the recent months, I very often was hearing this this statement from different people: "I'm waiting for the sign off from Basti." So I guess is this a lot of your work right now is also reviewing the other PRs from the other core developers?
Yes, I think it's not only the recent months, but it's since quite some time. Like, yeah, it's it's the curse of knowing too much stuff that you need to review like all the things. It's also like I just got pinged today that I need to review like the migration, or like I need to, but I got asked to review like the migration stuff. But yeah, it's like if you know a lot of stuff, then you need to. But I think I also like it. I mean, like reviewing is not that bad or whatever, and like it's also like what brought me all this kind of knowledge about like how the Polkadot SDKs work, because like I was reviewing a lot of code and I wanted to know, not like just like, yeah, it looks good. I wanted to understand if it is really looking good, and like what are the fundamentals here, and that's like, yes. And now we're today, and like I know all the stuff, which is like, yeah.
The curse of knowing too much. All right, does anyone have a question for Basti? Good, then thank you, Basti. And we're moving on. Next up is Oliver, rank 3 in the fellowship with a salary of $6,666 per month.
Yeah, I didn't actually get for this period, but I think it's soon able to. Yeah, good. So first topic, I had one housekeeping topic because there was some kind of loophole in our palette configuration for the fellowship that from the initial seeding process, there were still like, I think, 32 members remaining that were basically on their ranks, but they never had to do any retention votes. So they could stay on the rank indefinitely and vote on stuff, but they didn't have to kind of submit these retention referenda. So this was now fixed in the last release. And like it was kind of annoying because there were 3 members at least that had like voted on nothing, and they were like rank 3 the whole time. So they could have voted on like 276 referenda, but they voted on 0. So, and there's like a few more instances of this. And it just like slowed down all of our like referenda times basically. Like when anyone wants to do their retention vote or some other RFC vote, it would have it got slowed down by this. Yeah, so we should be like more trimmed down and slim in a few months this regard, and like have faster reaction times to referenda. Yeah, then otherwise my main line of work is still setup migration. We kind of need to get it like merged very soon for Kusama. Like kind of wanted to do it last week, but then we're still waiting for tests and reviews. Yeah, so we kind of really have to do it this week, I think. Yeah, because we have like this deadline on 7th October for Kusama. I noticed that it was very real after I got a mail from Coinbase where they like talked about setup. I will need like 2 releases, like one for setup Kusama and then one for setup Polkadot. Yeah, not sure if anyone has opinions on this. Otherwise, we would make 2 releases.
And why is it 2 releases that we would need?
So they're like about 1 month apart, and it would be nice if you could incorporate some of the feedback from Kusama setup migration, or at least preparation for that into Polkadot. Otherwise, if our continuous testing finds something like, just before or just after we did the Kusama release, then it would be nice that we can still fix it for Polkadot. Yeah, would give us more agility, basically.
And are we still good on the timeline for the Kusama setup release migration?
Yeah, it's. I think it's still on time. Yeah, from my perspective, it's good. Yeah, but we need to get the stuff merged. Otherwise, it's gonna get endangered. Yeah, I mean the limiting factor is our like, or let's say the fixed factor is like the proposal time. Like we calculate normally like 2 weeks, but we got confirmation from voters that that basically tell us they would vote on this to give higher turnout to speed it up. I mean, we can't rely on that, but it's some indication that we can make it pass faster. But it's kind of a gamble because we also need a fellowship vote to whitelist it, and there aren't that many people in the Kusama fellowship. So yeah, we kind of have to hurry up a bit. Yeah, I mean, the thing is also that it's code-wise done. We just need to like get the reviews and then like incorporate the test feedback. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone have a question for Oliver? Not right now. I want to interject here. I'm not sure who to ask this precisely, but typically at the beginning of the call, we do celebrations, and I think we did not celebrate elastic scaling. But from what I understand, the Polkadot referendum to release public elastic scaling at the feature toggle elastic scaling actually just went through. Is it true? I see Basti nodding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to.
Okay, so all, I don't know, all like network storms and all network issues are solved, and it basically got approved and signed off, and enough votes turned up to approve it. So it seems like elastic scaling is live, right?
Yes, but people like some people still need to upgrade the validator, because like at least like there was today like some call to some validators that they should upgrade because like they're running an too old version of a validator, and which leads to I forgot the name, disputes. So like but this was kind of expected. But as far as I see, there are only like 4 validators or whatever. So like it's,
okay. So most validators upgraded, but we have like a tiny number of them that have not upgraded.
Yes. So I guess there's a post in the validator channel. So like if your validator looks there and then like find out if you're one of these, or like just update.
And I guess the punishment that would happen to them is that they miss some errors, or they would get chilled.
I think there's no on-chain punishment right now. That's more. I think they just get like kind of blacklisted off-chain or whatever. So like other validators don't connect to them anymore. Something like that. Don't ask me for the exact details, but yeah.
I think what Andre said, Adrian?
Yes.
I think Andre, right?
Yeah.
I think what Andre said last month, yeah, it was Andre. What Andre said last month is that there was actually an on-chain fee. No, I think it was an on-chain. You actually get shielded on-chain if you submit the wrong dispute. Or not shielded, but you get ignored. You get ignored for the rest of the era.
Yeah. There's like these, but there's no real punishment or whatever. Like I think like in a perfect or not at some future point you actually should get slashed for that, so for raising that. But I think we're not there yet. So like maybe the only punishment is that you cannot get any points or whatever, which is also a punishment, but not you're not getting slashed, which I would say is like it's a punishment.
Yeah. I've been raising this in the Element channel, but wouldn't this mean that we actually could tag some version now as Polkadot 2.0?
But we discussed it already. We can do that. I mean, it's maybe like you can talk to like maybe Oliver wants to have it. Maybe we do it for the Polkadot migration to Asset Hub. That we call that one then the 2.0. So we go for 1.9 now, and then like we just like for my little dumb developer perspective, I give you whatever number you like because like it's just a number.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to celebrate. But Oliver agrees, it seems.
Yeah, we'll be cutting off the release for Kusama, at least. I guess also for Polkadot then once we are finished with the Asset Hub code, migration code. So yeah, we can do 420 or 69 or 2 or whatever you want. 2 would be good.
Yeah, but I think like just take for Kusama the 1.9 and like if something comes up, we then or like otherwise we just do like an empty release, which is then like just going to 2.0 for Polkadot. Okay. And then we can have a celebration, and everyone is happy.
Yeah. Good, maybe is it too early if we do it during the parity retreat?
When I don't know when is the schedule the migration for Polkadot?
It's 4th of October. November. It's 4th November, right? Okay.
Yeah, but we can then probably do the release already or whatever. But yeah, we probably need to do the release at the parity retreat because like then it's roughly 2 weeks before. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Okay. No discussion points for elastic scaling. Okay, then I want to move on. And next up is Jan Bujak, rank 3 in the fellowship.
Hey.
Hey, Jan.
Hey, yeah. I've been working on, and this is probably not news, still on the new gas cost model for Jam, right? I've been making quite a bit of progress. Like I'm essentially re-implementing previously scalar code into SIMD, which is a little bit complex, but just today I've finally finished actually translating the basic algorithm. It's still buggy, it needs debugging, but yeah, this was quite a tedious process. And yeah, so hopefully I will get it working soonish, and then I need to optimize it, benchmark it, then maybe write an AVX 512 variant for even more speed and see what tweaks it needs to achieve the maximum speed. And then once I have the final version, I can get it into the gray paper finally. Yeah, that's mostly it.
All right, thank you, Jan. Does anyone have a question for Jan? Jan, we're currently asking ourselves a question here in the control room. Have you been part of proof of personhood?
No.
No.
I am aware of what is going on with proof of personhood, but I'm not directly involved.
All right. Okay. Okay, then I had a misunderstanding. All right, thank you, Jan. Good. No questions for Jan. Then next up is Murem, rank 2 in the fellowship.
Hi. So I'm working on asset hub migration. So Oliver, usually in front of me on this call, can speak for me too. But yeah, I have nothing really to add on it. So I'm full-time on asset hub migration.
All right. Okay, so basically Oliver already took all your talking points.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank you, Murem. Does anyone have a question for Murem? That is not the case. Okay, we're moving on. Next up is David Garassi, rank 2 in the fellowship with a salary of $1,666.66666.
Hi.
Hey, David.
Hi. So I primarily work on Polkadot, the parity implementation of GEM. And in the last couple of months, I've been more and more focused on preparing a proper fuzzer for in view of the upcoming audit for milestone 1. And the current fuzzing process is not the official one, even though we have around 18 or 19, I don't remember, perhaps 19 teams that are enrolled and being fuzzed daily. You can see the results if you are interested in the GEM conformance repo, which at the moment is hosted under my GitHub account, I guess temporary. But yeah, since I mean, mostly work on this is currently hosted by me. And there in the issues, you can see all the teams that are currently fuzzed. And this is a very active repo where we have conversations and we post bugs that we spot using our fuzzer publicly with the reports so that the teams can reproduce and fix their stuff if they are not compliant with the gray paper. And so, as I said, this is not the official process for the auditing for milestone 1, but still is propedeutic since, I mean, the official audit, I guess, will take for each team. The last time that we spoke about it, I mean, it's not fixed, but we talk about fuzzing each implementation for more than 1 day. The last time, I mean, this is a pretty arbitrary number because it depends on what machine it runs, the fuzzer. Because if you run on a beefy machine, it can be 1 day. If you run on my machine, as I'm doing right now, could be 1 month. But anyway, I bet we will run the official auditing process maybe on the toaster. I don't know, for sure not on my machine. And so it will run for the official procedure for a few days. And we've not started the official conformance testing because these implementations are actually failing to run for minutes on my machine. So it doesn't make sense to start immediately when the official auditing process. So when we are more confident about the implementations, we can start accepting official releases. But anyway, the process will be quite similar to what we are doing right now. And so it's quite fun. So because I mean, everyone is quite excited and using the data that is harvested during fuzzing, we also published a dashboard about performances comparison across teams. And this is also interesting, even though milestone 1 is not about performances. it's very important to understand what is the ratio between the faster implementation and the slower, because in the end, we want to run the same number of steps. That steps in a fuzzer translate in blocks to import. So we want to import the same number of blocks in the faster implementation and in the slower to have the same level of confidence, right? So if we fuzz for 1 day the faster implementation, we perhaps will fuzz for 1 month the slower. So we want to understand better these kind of things to adjust our expectation and how much the official procedure will last and stuff like that. So yeah, that's mostly what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm. And is the fuzzing already highlighting some issues where you can report it back to the teams?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the issues are reported on a daily basis. We continuously find issues and we report. Is some kind of, you fixed stuff and I report new stuff, you will fix the stuff and I report. Is there some kind of iteration? Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Does someone have a question for David? Oliver.
Yeah, one question. Yeah, so thanks for all of the setup. And I saw this mini fuzz with which teams can kind of try it out locally first. And like, I don't know how much you can comment on this, but you're building all of this infrastructure. And do you foresee that the official fuzzing process would be kind of reusing that so that you can at least reuse the same launch scripts and everything, or would we have to kind of like adapt to that, or do you not know yet?
I mean, for sure, mini fuzz, that is the thing that I released today, is some kind of, because especially in the last day, when we switched from protocol version 1 to from version 0 to version 1 for the fuzzer protocol, I received some submissions that are not yet ready. So I just start the target and immediately phase. So this self-assessment before submitting your target is to save me some time. Otherwise, it's some kind of ping pong, and so it's quite so that everyone can self-assess their implementation before submitting. And so this is also useful for the official procedure, because the protocol will be this fuzzer protocol version 1 for the official, at least. If there will not be a version 2, but I think it's good enough. So I don't think there will be any change. Perhaps someone, because the scripts that I wrote are quite, some of them, I mean, I'm not really specialized in Python scripting, and so are quite rough. So when we're going to automate all this stuff to run at scale, perhaps some DevOps team should take care of improving this kind of automation, because there are scripts, but starting the scripts nowadays is a manual thing, and it's not really optimal when we'll have more teams. Yeah, so we'll have to find some more automation. But yeah, they will run using protocol on fuzzer 1.
Yeah, thanks. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also working in my free time on one of the Java implementations,
Yeah.
and we used your launch script, like we had it in the CI to always test that our Docker image kind of starts with it. But yeah, we haven't integrated a new script that's like, we just had some specific version, but we will integrate that so that on every master commit, we know that our Docker image still works. So that's good. Thanks.
You mean the script that was a bash script and now has been ported to Python, the target.py?
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. That one at the beginning was super simple and was just used by me to save some typing. And then I added stuff, and yeah, now it's working quite well, but still it's I don't know if it can be used, perhaps, maybe, yeah, in some more scaled automation infrastructure, but yeah, probably. Perhaps, I mean, some DevOps specialist perhaps maybe can improve this workflow for sure. It's not my.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it's good for testing. If you want to run it on the toaster, you probably want to have it a lot of times in parallel and monitoring or stuff like this. Yeah.
All right. I see no further questions for David. Good. Then thank you, David. And we're moving on. Next up is Sayed Nalsini, rank 1 in the fellowship with a salary of $833.
Hi. Yeah. We worked on a never-ending proof of possession. We found out that we need 2 proofs sometimes and not 1 proof. So some cryptotype wanted 1 proof and some cryptotype needed 2 proofs. So there's some fundamental changes to the crypto structure to add this new type, which was proof, because before there was everybody was generating 1 signature, so we didn't need a new type. And I coded that, and Basti and David approved it, and that went through. The last step of this proof of possession story is Basti's 2 years ago PR, which basically need to rebase. So I might work on it. I don't know, Basti, what do you think? They submit a PR, but anyway, whatever Basti says, but I will do that, and that shouldn't be a big one, and it will finish. And then maybe we can have BLS and Western or something.
I've seen your request. I like the other one, and I need to look into it. And I think then we can. I don't know if the original one still has like reviews. Maybe then we need to ask David again. But otherwise I think it's. We then need to think about how to move forward. So, and it's not that easy because like you're introducing like new host functions, and but I think what we
not for your PR, not for your PR.
Yeah, I know. But I mean in general, like there is then like the bigger problem we need, or like the bigger fish we need to fry or fish or whatever, because like you will need to introduce new host function, and we cannot just roll them out. So it's like. But there's also these there are also like RFC4 whatever for the new allocator stuff, which will also need new host functions, and I think we can just batch them, or like we need to batch them together, and then do a lot of talking to people that they update their stuff. But yeah, I think that's then like a way forward. I want to write that down, and then we need to see it. Maybe someone else has also like a host function they want to have or something like that, and then But I think that's a good
what RFC is that?
RFC4. It's about like introducing a new allocator, like the allocator right now is outside of the runtime, and it's about moving that, and that needs to change the host function because they interact with the memory, and that needs to change. And these are like 2 candidates which are like kind of important, and like we need to get them in, but that will require like a lot of communication with the parachains, because again, when you upgrade that, parachains will break if they're also not upgraded. So like we probably either need to backport some things, or like they need to move to other features. But
I make a PR to the RFC.
Why?
To add more host function to it. That is what you said, no?
No. I just
okay.
I
do them together, like a different RFC.
The point is like they're different RFCs, but it's about like how we roll that out. It's not about like you can't, like as I said, like you cannot just roll out, because like when you just activate your host function, everything will break. So like we need to roll that out, and this rollout needs to happen like in a same way that we don't break that much stuff, or like we talk to everyone and tell them, hey, you need to upgrade. That nothing breaks. And that's the point of like what I want to do is like we batch that together. So like this only happens once. I mean, like last host functions were added, like, I don't know, a lot of years back. So that it's easier, then we can either communicate about it, blah, 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 which, yeah. And then we can, but this is like in the end, like the limiting factor also, like, while we can still merge all the stuff now, we cannot activate it. I mean, we can activate it on Westend, but we cannot activate it directly on Polkadot. And there is, yeah.
We have a host function adding party, and then we invite everybody.
Yes, exactly.
We add 10 host function at once.
Yes. I mean, there probably like also, I mean, so there was some discussion about the CK stuff, maybe, but I think that's not ready, or nowhere near ready. So yeah, probably falling apart. Not, sorry, Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, these host functions, are they used in inheritance, or are they just used in extrinsic, like normal signed extrinsic stuff? Or
I mean, the one from Said, I only use like actually off-chain, which is not that problematic. But I mean, like right now, all our code, I mean, it will still blow up because like there's like in CSI, there's a host function I don't know, and then I start complaining. So yeah, I mean that it's not that good. But for these host functions, like for this allocator stuff, this is like used on the on-chain part, like when you build a block.
okay, but so we could like not pause the palette or just like put it in a call filter or something, and then not force everyone to upgrade before we roll this out, or
But not working. Because like I mean like so like right now how it's working is like when we load like I mean it's not you can disable it, but like right now it's like if you load a runtime like a normal runtime, then like it goes over all the host function. If there's a host function it doesn't know, then it just says, hey, I cannot instantiate and just returns an error. And so I mean that could be fixed, for example, but yeah. So like that you then cannot like this host function like that we just accept it. So for example, that's how parachains are working, or like when you because parachains can do that. That they, for example, introduce a host function which is not used as part of their block import pipeline or whatever, because like the real chain then still accepts them, and there's like just a whole like we add a dummy host function which then I think prints an error or whatever. It's then in the end also results in that's the validation what abort or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody should check, but I mean, it doesn't really seem that useful because as soon as you run into the unknown host function, you could still panic, you know, like it doesn't really help so much if you check it in advance.
Yeah, it's historic, and maybe we can probably think about changing it, but I mean, like in the end, it's not changing anything because like you will not be able to use it without like people upgrading. So like even if you just panic at execution, I mean you're done. I don't see that you win that much.
Yeah.
So it's the end result is still that you need to upgrade your node binary, that you include that. And see those functions. I mean, it would be nice, for example, like what I thought about, which would be cool, for example, if you introduce like a hashing function, for example, if it compiles the WebAssembly, then like that you have like a mode where you maybe go via the host function, which is then faster, or because you didn't upgrade, you just run it inside of WebAssembly. But that, for example, would also maybe not. I'm not sure about, but there are some host functions where this then not works because like they need some randomness or whatever, like some cryptographic stuff which needs randomness is not working in this case. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool, yeah.
But yeah, also like if you, for example, introduce like a new host function for accessing something differently from the database or whatever. That's also something that, yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, we know, so I think like the last host function we added is like 2021, 2022, or even, I don't know, 2020. So like we are like already running on this host function for quite some time. So it's not that you need to have new ones every day or whatever. So
I thought it was this proof size thing, or not?
Yeah, okay. I mean, the proof I think is like only a parachain thing. So like it's I'm talking about like Polkadot or like everyone.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess you know your path forward.
What?
Yes, your path forward. Yeah, your path forward is you move you merge your stuff and then we see for.
All right. Thank you. I tried to
I have
follow
one
up
more
on this.
question for Basti. I'm sorry I'm using this meeting, but I don't see Basti ever, just this meeting. So should I make a pull request to your pull request, against your pull request, or against master? When I rebase your pull request to master currently, which is 2 years later master, should I make?
Yeah, I don't care if you whatever you want to like. It's like whatever you feel easier for you. If you rebase it to master or like open it directly against master, then I can review my own code and can give you approval on that, or like but yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we can have this discussion offline. It's not that.
Okay. Yeah. So beside this, I worked on some improving the efficiency of the RBLS library. Mostly for academic interests. Like, there's not a bottleneck, but we want to have the fastest one in the world for some reason. Yeah. So I also was trying to improve that, and that's another thing. Like, if you want to add this improvement, then we should add them before we add the host function. Otherwise, when we add the host function, then the implementation of BLS basically gets pinned, and we cannot change it. So that is the other thing I worked on the side is last month. But that's it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good. I don't see questions. Then we move on. Next up is Don Vales, ranked 1 in the fellowship with a salary of $833. Hi, Don.
Hey. Good to be here. So this last month I worked on hard pressure. That referenda just passed. Congrats to everybody who worked on that. And it is up for review, so that's good. It's not particularly complicated, I don't think, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, hopefully we can get that in and then get that in as a patch after the Asset Hub migration. That is it.
Sounds fantastic. And it's also really exciting that we have something like the OpenGov process going on, and at the same time already getting the implementation ready.
Yeah, you can thank Jay for that. He very much was driving it behind the scenes. So.
Yeah, and actually people have been asking and speculating about when this release is actually landing. So what's the latest on that?
On when hard pressure would make its way into a runtime release?
Yeah.
I don't think I would be the best person to answer that, just because I don't have a ton of control over releases at this point, just being a rank 1. But I know that we are trying to get it in after Asset Hub migration. And then I think Polkadot Asset Hub migration is slated for October or something. So it would be after that, basically.
Yeah. And I guess, Oliver, that is the release after the ones that you're cutting, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, with November, with AHM on Polkadot being beginning of November, I mean, we could stagger another release, like maybe mid-October or something. But yeah, or we do it afterwards. I'm not sure. I guess it would receive a high turnout. And it could also be nice to have it as its own release. Yeah, but that's not fixed so far. I think it's already fine that we have like the vote gone through, so we know that we will do it anyway, and there is no change until next year from the code. So it doesn't really make a difference, just like psychologically, I guess.
The hard pressure it is.
Yeah. I will note that I think it is a pretty big psychological change, though. Like, I don't think it would be non-worthwhile just because it's a psychological change, I guess.
Yeah, having it as a separate release is actually a pretty nice idea.
Oh yes, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. All right, does anyone have a question for Dom?
Yeah, so I put review comments on this hard pressure issuance, and I think you also had this RFC for voting while delegating. Yeah, I think Basti had some comments on this, but otherwise, I mean, you have some implementation, some draft in the SDK, right? So
yes, I saw just now that you guys had reviewed those, which I appreciate. I'm just coming off like a 5-day vacation here, so I'll get to this now. But certainly, I appreciate those reviews and you guys being timely about that. That was nice. And yes, I do have an implementation of RFC 150 up, just to sort of complement the RFC such that it's easier to review, I suppose.
All right. Okay. Oliver gives a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Good.
thanks.
Then we can move on. And next up is Ludovic Dominguez, rank 1 in the fellowship. And you just joined new in the fellowship, right?
Yeah, I joined like 2 weeks ago, a little bit more. Yeah. So
Awesome.
haven't worked on much yet. I'm working mainly on frame and migrating some palettes from an old framework to like a new one. So like using fungibles instead of the old currency, which is something that the team wanted to do for like a long time, but didn't have enough like manpower to handle it, and it was like low priority. So I'm doing it right now.
And Ludovic, everyone who joins the fellowship new, like we often ask them to give an introduction and like tell a little bit about yourself, or also what brought you into the fellowship. Do you want to share a little bit of that?
Yeah, sure. So a little bit of like backstory. I started as a game developer, mainly working on like video games using Unity and C#, and then I fell into Web3 during COVID because like lots of like time off. I started working like in the EVM ecosystem. I worked in there like for 3 years, like mainly smart contracts like NFTs, Web3 games, stuff like that. And then a friend told me about PBA, so I went to PBA campus for like PBA 5 Singapore, and I stayed in Polkadot since, and I just got into like full-time Polkadot. I worked at PBA. I'm working at PBA right now, and I've also had the plans to join the fellowship for a long time now, mainly to like work on the core of Polkadot to help like build it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. Sometimes at conferences, so like when I meet people and ask them, "What's your Polkadot story?" I can highly suggest that it's something that really builds our network. Good. I see that Pablo immediately raised his hand when he saw you.
Yeah, that's because I've been working on the same thing for the last couple of months. I started recently working on migrating some palettes from currency to fungible. So we're on the same path, and I think we can coordinate there so we don't catch on the same workload at the same time. Yes, yeah, that's basically, there's that. And welcome to the fellowship, and yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. So I don't see any questions for Ludovic. Then I would suggest we move on with next up Pablo. Rank 1 in the fellowship with a salary of $833.
Rank 2.
Rank 3. Rank 3. My mistake. My apologies.
No, not yet.
Sorry.
No, basically, it's what I just mentioned. Recently, I published a post on the forum to propose using the fungibles interface as a way of handling storage deposits. Basically, the way to do it is it's analogous to what we currently do to pay fees with some assets via conversion. In this case, it's a conversion with a ticket which you can use to get once you get the refund of the storage, you can convert it back to your original asset. And yeah, I'm currently working on this, and part of the work actually it's migrating the pallets that are already using currency to fungible. So yes, that's basically what I've been working on in this last couple months. Yeah, yes. Well, to summarize, I started working on a prioritization of how difficult this is, which is the impact on the migrations, and which is the impact on the overall experience if I do these changes. And I figure out that maybe one of the simplest migrations ever in terms of technical feasibility and migrations and impact might be pallet identity, because it's basically one of the easiest to migrate as I've seen. So I started working on that one. Yes, Maran? I saw that there was
Question the deposits for the storage. Are you talking about some trade or?
Yeah, there is a trade that is already implemented, that is already defined and implemented in pre-image, which is consideration.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It's
we're on the same page. I just wanted to make sure that we have.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's that. It's a one.
Good. Any more questions for Pablo? I think that is not the case. And I think we have everyone on the call now. Yes, perfect. Okay, then I would say it is time to wrap it up. I have one announcement. So you might already have heard about the Polkadot Builder Party. It's this global hackathon that is coming up in 2.5 weeks. And we are specifically targeting two groups of developers, Web2 developers and Web3 developers. So for the Web2 developers, we're specifically talking to the people that are working in cloud, that are working with the SDKs that we have in Web2 clouds. And we are approaching them with the idea of the Web3 cloud, right? And we really want to see in this hackathon, how does it speak to them? The SDKs that we have in the ecosystem, are they working out for them when it comes to payments, robotics, AI, storage, compute, gaming, social, knowledge management, all of those things, right? So we're treating parachains as services and presenting this to Web2 developers. And we're inviting them to come in and use those things. So this is one track, use the existing parachains. The other track will be build your own parachain, right? So we want to offer those two things. So why do I tell this to you guys? We're looking for ideas. We're looking for ideas where you have been having something on your mind where you said this would be actually really cool if people would build that, but you don't have the time to build it. So we have this forum thread in the Polkadot forum. It's called Polkadot Builder Party Ideas, Hackathon Ideas. And so my ask is, if you have something on your mind where you think it would be cool if someone built that, this is a really great invitation to share that idea with people, and they could come in and use it, right? So I guess since you're mostly working with the Polkadot SDK and with runtimes, maybe you have more ideas about it would be interesting to build this chain or something, which is fine. We're open to any kinds of ideas. That's number one. Number two is we have some parity folks that are already like indicated interest in hosting workshops, right? So if you would be keen on, you have some kind of special knowledge where you really have the expertise in and you want to share it, we can hook you up with people at Parity or with Rada from the Web3 Foundation and get you queued up to host a small workshop. And it would be also part of the back catalog so that also people in the future can look into it. So this would be a really nice opportunity. And yeah, just wanted to get that out there. Polkadot Builder Party, I should have it on my mind. I think it's starting on the 6th of October or so, first week of October. That would be a really great thing. And I think that's it from my side. Yeah. I think everything is coming very nicely together. We launched Elastic Scaling. We're sort of having Polkadot 2.0 on, and I'm really looking forward to see when parachains are starting to launch it. Basti has said he has made a lot of progress on the 500 millisecond blocks. And if everyone could just pause the PRs for a second, that would be really great, because then he can finally push it up. And other than that, hub migration is looking good. And yeah, lots of specific projects that are also always interesting in the discussions, like gas cost model, the fuzzing, proof of possession, I'm losing my English. All the great stuff that we see in OpenDev. All right. Okay. Thank you all for joining this call. We are meeting again on the third Tuesday of October, I guess. And there's also your Parity retreat coming up. So I'm really interested to hear what you have planned for that and what is coming out of that. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming. As always, have a great month and see you next time. Bye-bye.